Sagittarius, Mars is no longer in retrograde, and that is really good news for you because June would have felt like a bit of a stifled month. I think you would have felt frustrated at times. Things wouldn't have made sense. They would have seemed superficial, and I think you didn't make a lot of progress. You'll notice going into July immediately that you have a much deeper and more genuine connection with yourself on a spiritual level. That will give you a personal sense of freedom, and that will allow you to achieve great things in your actual life. So there's a total shift of energy for you, and it's really at the core and root of who you are, and you start to feel like, oh my God, you know, the world is my oyster. I can do whatever I like. I can really reach places. I can go far. Now, that said, there are still 3 outer planets which are in retrograde, and the asteroid Chiron is also in retrograde. Saturn in Sagittarius, in your sign in the first house, retrograde. Pluto in Capricorn, retrograde in your second. Neptune in Pisces in retrograde in your fourth. And they are all in the first 4 houses of your chart, meaning that there's a difference, there's a alternate way of you seeing yourself and discovering the real you. So I think the past month, yes, would have been frustrating, but I think it's opened things up so that you can look at yourself in a totally fresh new way. And I really think that you're in a process of real self-discovery and understanding of who you are, where you're going to go in life, what you're going to do with your work, if you're happy with work, what your relationships are with family, how you want them to be. So these are very big questions, and I think you're making a lot of headway here, especially at the beginning of July. Now, the asteroid Chiron is the wounded healer in mythology. He went retrograde on the 27th of June. He'll stay retrograde until the 1st of December 2016. And whenever this asteroid goes retrograde, it gives you access to past lives. And in this case, it's right on top of your south node, past life central, and you really get an insight into what family life has been, and at the same time it connects you to your future and what you would like it to be. So you're on a very kind of spiritual, profound space in your life where you're looking at things from a huge perspective and you're saying, this is where I've come from spiritually and this is where I want to go. It's like at the cliffs of destiny. You're standing up there, you know, under the stars. It's amazing. So I want you to look forward to this month of July before I see anything else here, just from the perspective of I'm going to get a much greater, deeper understanding of myself as a Sagittarius. And if you know yourself, then everything else can open up. In June as well, there was a grand cross in the sky, and so there was also a grand trine. There was a lot of energy that kind of kept people very busy but very unproductive. Those are gone. They've been replaced by a T-square, which will affect you especially from the 1st of July through until the 3rd of July. It connects Jupiter in your 10th, Neptune in your 4th, and Sagittarius in your 1st house. So you're asking the big questions, okay? I think you're doing quite well at work. I think you're asking yourself where you want to get to. I also feel like you have a dream and a desire of what family could be, which I just mentioned. And I think you're genuinely scrutinizing and trying to find ways forward. How can I do this? And how can I achieve all of these big things in a way that helps and supports other people? So first of all, Sagittarius, I just want to give you a reality check. It's very good and noble that you're thinking along these huge, big lines, okay? But you're one person, and don't burden yourself so much, and don't ask for perfection, and try and do the best you can. It really doesn't have to be, you know, the best of the best in every aspect of your life. You're a work in progress, like all of us, and I think you can lay down some of these burdens and these heavy obligations that you're taking upon yourself. Now, that's going to be what influences you the most. These kind of questions will be pervading the atmosphere from the 1st until the 3rd of July. On the 4th, the new moon occurs, and that's in Cancer in your 8th house. So Cancer energy will be pulled in. the way that's going to manifest itself for you is you're going to start to think about how you can be of service and how you can support people in your working life and the work that you do, how you can help the institution that you're in, and also really how you can be of service to others. So whether you're thinking of becoming a foster parent or whether you're thinking of how your business can do more for underprivileged people who can't afford your services, whatever it is, you start to think very much along nurturing, caring lines. On the 5th through until the 7th of July, Neptune, Chiron and the South Node in that family sector of your 4th house, they start to form a connection with that 8th house. Okay, so on the one hand, family-wise and work-wise, you're really going to be treating people very, very well. You're really going to be very caring and supportive. You're going to communicate emotionally. You're going to love being there for other people. And just the idea of doing something that will help and support others will fill you with meaning and a sense of grace almost. But what I also get is that you can really connect with past lives. And I mentioned this already, but there's a great ability to go through the veil yourself, even if you've never done anything intuitive or medium wise ever in your life, to communicate with those who want to communicate with you, to express your feelings, your desires about your own life, to be empowered by that discourse, to find real security and structure within yourself, to bring through that past experience that many times you've been here on planet Earth, and to really create a life that is of great service to other people. So it's your turn to really take on the torch of how can I help people? How can I be there and how can I ease people's pain and suffering through my own skills? How can I be a father, a mother to humanity? On the 8th and 9th of July, the moon moves on. It's in Virgo now, in your 10th house of work, and it's next to Jupiter. And I think over these 2 days you really take stock of what you're doing work-wise, and I really think it's a great day to make informed decisions about your future, because I think you will have a lot of a great connection to your emotions and how you really feel about things, but also a critical eye and a critical outlook of what you can do and what will make sense in terms of your career. So this is a good day to apply for work, and apply for work that you genuinely care about. It's a good day to take stock of what you've already been doing and how you want to move on in future. So this is like an inventory process. It's like, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm at, and how do I fill the gap from where I am now to where I want to go. On the 10th, the moon is in Libra, and it opposes Chiron in your 4th house. The moon is at 1 degree in Libra in your 11th house. And really, I'm sorry to say this, if you're like totally narcissistic and you could care less about anyone else, then you're going to hate this reading, because I really think that on the 10th of July, you're really focused on how you can not only help yourself, but really realize other people's hopes and dreams. And I really feel that you see yourself as someone who can be there for others to help them make their dreams come true. And I think that's what your guides and your angels and your ancestors want you to do at the moment. So even if you've never helped anyone in your whole life, this is the time to do it. You're really being supported from all angles. On the 11th, there is a T-square which appears. It connects that moon in Libra, now at 13 degrees. And by listening to this guidance and by connecting with this, you really have the potential to transform your working life and to do something totally unrelated to what you're doing now that will really create a position where you can help other people in the way that you want. And as a side effect, it will help you. And it will help you by doing something you care about, but also making you more money than you do now. So for Sagittarians, any of you who have thought about changing your job, if you're working as a secretary or a dentist or a telemarketer or a TV production person, and you don't like your job and you've always wanted to do something else, either be a counselor or an intuitive or a psychic or a hypnotherapist or a crystal healer or a charity worker or a nurse, this is your reading. This is for you. You are being super, super supported to make these changes. None of the other signs have Pluto in their second house in Capricorn. You're the one who is being given this wonderful opportunity to really take charge of your hopes and dreams when it comes to work and to totally do something different. And I know it's easy to say that, but people do it. I've done it. People are doing it every day. People are leaving the jobs that they dislike and that really feels like it's sucking at their soul, and they're setting up on their own and they're doing jobs that they adore and love and that really help people. Venus moves into Leo on the 12th. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. The 9th house is expansion, education, travel, and growth. And Venus in Leo is at her most confident. So you will get a lot from going into education, from traveling, from now to the 12th of July through until the end of the month. It's the perfect time to go somewhere and to recapture your passion, to be inspired, and to really learn and discover something new. On the 13th, the moon connects with Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio in your 12th house. Now, remember at the beginning of this reading, I said that you have a much greater sense of yourself and you feel like you can connect. This is the day when you get to the core of who you are. If you do a meditation to try and dive down past all the surface level thoughts and desire and belief and fear, and you dive down to that cosmic consciousness, the stream of consciousness, you can do it on the 13th of July, because Black Moon Lilith is really the darkest, most repressed part of you. With the moon connecting it 1 degree away, your soul can touch the most hidden, inaccessible place within yourself, and like Pandora's box, without the horrors, you can open it up and really discover who you are. Mercury goes into Leo on the 14th. Mercury is the planet of communication. It's fired up. It's about your passion, about your feelings, your desires. Travel, pilgrimage, discovery, all of that is fabulous news for you, whether you travel on land and you go on an actual trip, or you travel spiritually, astrally, whatever it is. It's a time to really broaden and get excited about your life again. This stuff isn't easy, you know, like getting to the truth of who you are and saying, I don't want to do this work anymore, it doesn't thrill me anymore, I'm going to do something totally different. That's not easy. But when you embrace that, you can really do something that's much more fulfilling. Now, on the 9th of July, the sun started to form a relationship with Uranus, and now here on the 15th of July, that relationship hits its most powerful point. The sun is in your 8th house, Uranus is in Aries in your 5th house, and through this desire to help other people in your working life, on this day, it could be a couple of days before and after, I really think through some sort of work connection, there's real potential for you to meet a loved one, a real romantic partner, someone who's on the same page as you. And by taking charge of the changes in your working life, you can meet this person. So watch out for that. There's great potential to meet a genuine relationship. That lasts until the 22nd of July. So you have a great, from the 9th to the 22nd, with the 15th here being the most powerful point, you really have scope to meet someone through your work. From the 16th until the 18th, the moon begins a journey from Saturn and it moves to Pluto. And really on these couple of days, you start to figure out what you can implement in a practical sense to make your money differently and to receive an income from a different place than where you're getting it now. The full moon occurs on the 19th of July, and that is in Capricorn in your second. Second house is belongings, finances, and Pluto is the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's Hades in mythology, it's change. So this is the day when that caring, loving Cancer sun shines its light on that full moon, and what blooms in your life is a transformation of your work and a career that actually supports and helps other people and that creates abundance and wealth in your own life. On the 20th and the 21st, the moon now moves into Aquarius in your third house, and you start to feel more able to communicate what your mission is, what your cause is for humanity, and to actually get passionate about it and to start forming actual ideas that you can run with. From the 22nd until the 24th of July, the moon joins Neptune, the South Node, and Chiron in your fourth house of family, and this is the best time to spend with family members. If you want to explain anything about changes, if you want to connect with people and just enjoy your family, this is the time to do it. On the 25th and 26th, the moon then moves on into your fifth house of romance and relationship, and again, this is great to take charge of your personal romantic relationships, and if you take charge and if you get yourself out there, there's great potential for the unexpected to appear. If you live in a little village and you're a transgender male to female man, male to female woman, and you're looking for another transgender person and there are about 8,000 people in your town, then it's pretty unlikely that you'll meet that person. But if you take a risk and you put yourself out there and just hope for a miracle, then there can be a miracle. Because even in those kind of circumstances, someone can appear and you could never plan for that. So love, romance, passion, 25th, 26th, best days for it. On the 27th of July, the moon is now in Taurus and it opposes Black Moon Lilith in the 12th house. So this is a day when you feel very comfortable with your day-to-day life, your day-to-day routine, and through your greater understanding of yourself, something within raises its head and asks to be addressed. This could be a resentment, it could be some baggage from the past, it could be some unresolved pain or wound that hasn't been healed. The next day, it moves on, the moon that is, still in Taurus at 25 degrees now, and it opposes Mars in Scorpio in your 12th house. So your day-to-day is interrupted again by difficult emotions that have been unresolved. So make the time to look at those, don't sweep them under the rug, they're coming up for a reason. They are part and parcel of this journey that you're on, making changes. And you've got an important choice to make here. You can either ignore them or work with them, and it'll be much better to work with them. You'll get useful information by acknowledging your feelings. Remember, June was frustrating because you couldn't get to the truth of the matter. Now you have, and now you've got to actually show up and make the effort to listen to your own feelings, which none of us do all the time. You know, if you're busy at the supermarket and a sudden thing of dread comes, you don't say, oh, what's this dread? Let's sit down and figure it out. You get the milk and you get out of there. So it's important to honor your feelings on those 2 days. The 29th sees a Grand Cross appear in the chart. And this is an idea coming from a past life situation which is triggered by a conversation you have with someone in the here and now about spirituality that gives you an idea of how to implement things so you can change your job. On the 30th, Jupiter opposes Chiron and it forms another T-square with the moon now in Gemini in your 7th, and the answers that you're getting at the end of this month come via other people. So engage in conversations with people in your life. They will be able to inform you and that will trigger stuff off in you, which then gives you the answers that you need. So this is about research and getting the information that you need, especially when it comes about your own soul mission. So it's about discovering your own soul mission. Now, finally, on the 31st of July, Mercury goes into Virgo and Uranus goes retrograde. Mercury is in Virgo in your 10th house, so you start to take stock of your job, of your career, the changes that you need to make to perfect things, and Uranus in your 5th really slows things down in your romantic life. So you stop being so passionate and you start putting on your kind of critic hat, your accounting hat, your inspector hat, and you start to make sense of things in a much more cerebral, concise, steady way without so much passion and feeling. So allow yourself to feel the things in July. Those are the things where the changes will come from, your genuine, truthful emotions. So I hope you have a wonderful month. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading. And I will look at your specific circumstances based on your date of birth, place of birth, and time of birth. Please remember to subscribe and also like the Facebook page. I do live readings on there. Facebook.com/GregoryScott444. Have a wonderful July, and I'll speak to you soon.